solutions and not justifications. And
That's
a lot
right.
of time we justify everything we do. I'm like this because that's how I am. Is it working for you?
Right.
I'm like this because I do this and I do that, and you just got to deal with it. Are you dealing with it? You got to confront yourself.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to.
You have to and if you just accept everything you do, you can't be growing. Like you can't be. You're probably stuck in whatever position you're in, unhappy, and then begging for something to change, asking God for a sign, praying to God for something to change, and He's giving you the eggs, the batter, the flour, the sugar, the icing, and you still don't know how to make the cake.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls around the world, welcome to another exciting night of Coastal Spotlight, and the light is shining real bright on this beautiful young lady sitting across from me. She has a wonderful story, and we're going to share her story today. Miss Miss Brianna. I said it in that way, but I want you to let our viewers know who you are.
My name is Brianna Potter.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Yes, indeed. All right. On Coastal Spotlight, we always make you feel like it's not an interview. We just sitting around talking.
Yeah.
And they're going to hear a fantastic story. And this young lady is very motivated to be somebody great, and she's on the path of being great. And we're going to capture her story now before she reaches, the top, and she don't come back on our show. So
it won't be too long.
Absolutely.
It's going to be soon.
So where are you from?
I was born in Biloxi. I have moved all over. So I can't claim one area because there's so many areas that shaped me. I lived in Baton Rouge for 2 years. I lived in Florida for 2 years. I lived in New York for 2 years.
Wow.
Atlanta for a couple months. I lived overseas for a year. I actually speak 2 languages. I speak French and English.
That's awesome.
So I lived in Martinique for about a year. Then I came back to Mississippi around when Obama was elected, and I've been here ever since.
That is awesome. And how old are you again?
I'm 20. I'll be 24 this month.
Did y'all hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Like, she done been all over the world before she's 25. That is truly, truly, truly amazing. So you born in Biloxi?
Absolutely.
What's your heritage?
I am Native American, Creole, African American, and white. German Creole is French and black. So
Wow. All that mixed up.
And
created Miss Brianna.
It sure did.
So what is your father?
My father is German and Cherokee.
Gotcha. And your mother?
And he's Creole as well. And my mother is Native American. I'm not sure what tribe of Native American, but my mom is Native American, black, and Creole as well.
You own some land in Mississippi.
Probably. I probably own Mississippi.
Hey, you better go claim your property.
I need my, reparations?
Yes, indeed. You can be tax-free next year. You know that?
Something like that.
Yes, you can. Well, that's awesome to hear. So, a mixture of good gumbo,
yes.
that created Miss Brianna. Yeah.
My food is good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So French.
Yes.
School training or family training?
A little bit of both. My granddad, actually, my great-grandfather, his dad spoke nothing but French. He was from the Bayou in Louisiana, so he spoke nothing but French. So it's in my family. I started learning French when I lived in New York right before we moved to Martinique. That's when my mom kind of started teaching me French because she was learning it. So then once we actually moved out to Martinique, I was learning it. Where the French kids would be learning English, I would get pulled out of the school and I would be taught French while they're learning English.
Wow.
So I learned, overseas. And then I've been to France as well. My mom actually lives in France right now. So,
really?
Yeah, so I learned in France, I learned in Martinique, and that's 2 different types of French. It's kind of like Spanish. Like Puerto Ricans speak different Spanish than Mexicans, and French is like the same way. So
yes, it is. It has a different lingo.
Right,
and,
different dialect
and
Absolutely.
everything. Yes. Absolutely. Anything that comes to the Western Hemisphere, it gets Americanized.
Absolutely.
So.
And it's really interesting because living from seeing things from different perspectives and different cultures, it's amazing how things like play out with different areas and different regions. Like, some of the things that we would say in Martinique in French, you wouldn't dare go to France and say that, and it would be taken a different way. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because it's the same way in English. Like, there's something, I might be able to relate to somebody else. Mm-hmm. And if I say it to somebody else, it wouldn't be translated in the same way. Right. So it's really cool. A lot of these languages, they're a lot similar than you think. Mm-hmm. They're more closer than you think to each other. So it's easier to learn.
Yes. When I think of French, I always said I have to learn French on the aspect of just having a great conversation with a lady friend or something.
Right.
You get to speak in French, Yes.
It's definitely the language of romance.
There you go. I was just waiting for you to say it. Yes, indeed.
It definitely is.
Yes, indeed. French wine. Do you like it?
I love it. I love learning languages. One of my mentors, I have mentors that I can't see or touch. Mm-hmm. My mentors, they may not even be here anymore. So one of my mentors is Eartha Kitt. Mm-hmm. I love Eartha Kitt. Eartha Kitt spoke she either spoke 5 languages and she sang in 7 or vice versa. Right. But she was fluent in more than one language, and I think that's lovely. So, I had to learn French. Like, that was mandatory for me. But now, as an adult, as my choice, I'm learning Spanish, and I'm also learning Italian. I can speak a little Spanish. I can speak Spanish, I would say like a beginner level, and I've been learning Italian. I know a few words here and there, so I want to be like Eartha Kitt. I want to speak like 5 to 7 languages.
That's an awesome mission, and I can't wait till you complete it.
Oh, I will.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so we had a little background on you. That's very, very, very good to hear, because when people start trusting in you, following you, becoming a fan, they definitely want to know where you come from, where you've been, and where you headed, and where you're going.
Absolutely.
So always dig back. So, let's take it as a little girl. We're going to stay back there. As as a little girl, who was the most present in your life? Both parents or grandparents, or?
I'm going to be real with you. I kind of didn't have a conventional childhood. And this isn't the story I share with most. So this is really a first for me. And it's going to be a first for a lot of my peers hearing this. But, I grew up, I just had my mom. I actually met my dad last year in November for the very first time.
Whoa,
but before that, I had my mom. She graduated at 18, and she was pregnant with me. Right. Through that, my mom got 2 degrees. But while, of course, being a single mother and in college, she didn't, she wasn't financially stable. So we often lived in the hood. Like I said, I lived in Baton Rouge,
Right.
I lived in some rough areas in New York. We lived in the projects in New York. We lived in what's called Park Hill. It's a project in New York. It's where Ghostface Killah is from, of the Wu-Tang Clan. We lived in some areas. So I grew up, kind of, I had my mom there, but I didn't have anybody else. We were far away. My family is here in Mississippi and Florida and stuff. So we're far away. So with that being said, my mom, she's working 2 and 3 jobs, and she's going to school. So I had me. My mom taught me a lot, but she taught me a lot to take care of myself. So, like when we were in Louisiana, of course I had a babysitter. I was a little younger. Then in Florida, I was a little older. I was walking to school by myself, walking home. I would see my mom later that evening. At the time we lived with my uncle, and then before that we always had a roommate. Me and my mom, we always had a roommate growing up. So there was people there, but they weren't any of guidance to me. That, I didn't really see those people that much. My mom, by the time she got home, it was nighttime. She's making sure my homework's done. She's making sure I'm in the bed, and and then we're going to bed, starting the next morning. Next morning, I see her for a few minutes. She's going to work. In New York was really one of the places that shaped me the most. When I was up there, my mom, she worked at a school in Brooklyn. She went to school in Manhattan, and she had 2 and 3 other jobs that were also in Manhattan.
Wow.
So when I woke up, my mom was not there. I would get myself ready for school. I would get myself fed breakfast. I would take a city bus, because in New York, they don't really have school buses when you live in the hood. So I'm getting on a city bus, taking the city bus to another city bus, taking that city bus to school, mind you, this is like 4th grade. You know, I'm in 4th grade doing this in the city. After school, I sang at one of the most famous churches in New York. It's in Manhattan. It's called St. Patrick's Cathedral. You'll see it on movies and things like that. I can't sing now. I was a kid. Disclaimer, I cannot sing now, so don't even ask. But, you know, as a kid, everybody can sing. But I sang at one of the most famous churches in New York. And so every day after school, I lived in Staten Island. That's a whole different island in Manhattan. So I had to take a city bus from my school to another city bus to take the Staten Island ferry. So it's a boat, to take a boat across the river to Manhattan. And I'm by myself. My mom's not there. She's at work. So I'm traveling. I'm walking through the city like 7 years old. 4th grade. That's about 7, 8 years old. I'm walking through the city, you know, all by myself. And I'm going to choir practice. After choir practice, me and my mom had an understanding. There was a Books A Million, you know, kind of down the block a little bit. After work, after choir practice, we meet at that Books A Million. I usually got done before her. So I would go to Books A Million. And while I'm sitting there waiting on my mom, I'm reading books. You know, the whole time I'm waiting on my mom, I'm reading books. I knew better. I knew not to talk to strangers. I knew where not to go. I knew, you know, stay on this route because it's a recognizable route. Even though it's a big city, people have routines. So I knew the faces that I should see. I knew when one wasn't familiar. These are things that I had to be, you know, omniscient on as a youth because I know my consequences. Like, I can't mess up. I can't take the wrong turn. I can't veer off because if I mess up, it affects mom. You know, and I know how hard my mom is working for. So I had to be very responsible at a very young age. Very responsible. And, you know, it was hard growing up, but it has shaped me into who I am today. And I love my mom for preparing me for that. You know, I love her for getting me ready for the world. It's definitely another perspective that I have seen. And, you know, even through all those adversities, through any adversity, I've constantly, you know, shined. Like, I still, like, stay positive. You know, I've been through a lot. I could write a book on my life. I really could. And it's a lot that I, you know, keep inside. And some stuff, like, some stuff you just got to internally heal from.
That's right.
And then just crumple it up and throw it away. And then it's paper in the wind. You just keep moving, you know.
Absolutely.
You can't hold you can't let your adversities hold you back.
Right.
So all the things that I've been through, the only thing that, you know, sticks with me is that it's relatable. I can take my story and I can go talk to anybody, and there's somebody who I will be able to relate to, and they may be struggling, and I can tell them, hey, look, I came from where you came from. I may not look like it, I may not sound like it, but I've seen the same things you've seen, and I'm gonna let you know that you can still push through. Like, you can still go further. You can still be positive. You can still be happy. It's all about what you manifest. It's all about what you affirm. So, and I have my days, you know. I am not going to say that I'm happy-go-lucky every day. I have my days where sometimes, I'm human. I have my days where sometimes it comes back and I'm like, man, like I really went through that, and it hurts sometimes, but you allow yourself to cry for 20 minutes and then you boss up and you get it done.
Absolutely. You know, definitely you learn discipline at a young age.
Absolutely.
How to not stray off in unfamiliar territory. You know, you definitely stuck to the daily routine, and to stick to a daily routine as a child is very hard to do because you know, we wander off. Kids do wander off, and you know, to see that you did keep that schedule, so you were able to meet your mother later on that day and get home and do the same thing over and over and over again. That is great. So before you learned about to manifest something, before you learned about any of those things, how to do that, what made you want to go on the journey of learning how to meditate, how to get more spiritual, how to do this, how to do that?
You know, it's amazing that you asked that question, because I've asked myself that question a million times, and I've come to the conclusion that I didn't. It came to me. I've always been very clairvoyant, and I've always been detail-oriented. So I've always noticed things that I would question, and I need the answer. Like, I need clarity. So when I question something, I look into it. And if I say if it's a person who told me, like you tell me something, and I may not question it in a disrespectful way, but for me to understand, if you tell me something and I just don't ask you, I didn't get no understanding about what you said.
Absolutely.
So when people say things or when I read things, I want to understand it. So in order for me to understand it, the best thing that I can do is research or ask that person. And if I can't get some understanding from them, I'll go research it on my own. So, I started seeing things and feeling different things and questioning different things. And, there were certain things that didn't make sense to me and certain things that made more sense to me. So I just started doing research and, learning about the different types of energies and different types of spiritualism and the origins of spiritualism. And, I really just dug my fingers into knowledge in general about anything.
Well, that's awesome.
So it just all kind of led into one another, and I started learning more and more about myself and who I am as a divine woman, as a woman of God, however you want to put it. I just started learning what that really means.
Right.
And what that means is it means such a state of self-happiness,
right,
that you're accepting of everything that you do, and you're forgiving yourself, and it's just it's really peace and harmony. And like I said, I'm not perfect, but I know that if I have a strong foundation within myself, and I love myself to the point where I know my flaws, I accept them, I know what I need to work on, and I constantly change. Because I'm going to put it like this. I'm not sure if you know who she is, but there's this woman. Her name is Lisa Nichols. She's a motivational speaker. She's another one of my mentors that I speak about that I don't touch.
Absolutely.
Lisa Nichols says, she and telling her story, she said, in order for me to get where I wanted to go, I had to die of any piece of me that I had been in order to become the woman that I wanted to be.
Right.
So that's kind of where I met my really spiritual transformation. It was ugly. It was ugly. It was rough. It was crying. It was depression. It was sad. It was hurt. It was pain. It was trauma. And I turned all of that. I not even I turned it, but I let it happen. I stopped being ashamed of myself for feeling emotional. I started trying to find the origin of why I was feeling these ways. And I started dealing with those and accepting that. That story I just told you about me growing up the way I grew up without a father and all that kind of stuff. We didn't have no money. That's sad. That hurt. It hurt me growing up.
Absolutely.
But where I'm at right now, and my faith in myself and my love for myself, it's fine. I went through that, and it taught me so much, and it shaped me so much. So there's no reason for me to hurt because of that.
Absolutely.
And there's other people who have less.
Right.
I have a story to tell. There's some people who didn't make it that far. So there's no reason for me to be hung up in my adversities. So,
absolutely.
Like I said, kill everything that I had been before. Because I was hurt for a long time. That woman or that little girl who was hurt and upset and, shut everybody out, I had to kill her. Mentally, I had to kill her in order to become the woman that I want to be. The woman that I want to be is loving, is self-confident, cares, is energetic. That's what I want to be. Is ambitious, is motivated, and is successful. So, you have to be what you want to be. You can't just okay, I know I'm going to wake up and one day I'm going to get there. No, you have to make choices and chances right now to determine where you're going to go.
Absolutely.
So that's where my spiritualism started. I started going through things, and, through working that out with myself, I just naturally became more spiritual. And then, like I said, of course, I was doing research and everything like that. So now, and now I have a daughter as well who's looking up to me. And I'm raising a queen. I'm not raising her to be a city girl. I'm not raising her to be a Cardi B. I'm raising a queen. I'm raising her to be Mila. That's my daughter's name, Mila. I'm raising her to be her. So with that being said, we wake up every morning, we get in the mirror, we do our affirmations. Her favorite one, listen, we'll go through all of them.
Right.
Well, she'll do it quiet. She'll do it strong, confident. As soon as we get to I am rich, she starts screaming.
Yes, indeed.
That's her favorite one.
Yes, to research is to get clarity of what you're researching on. So any topic come your way, I agree, you definitely have to get clarity.
Absolutely.
Of what that topic is and what it means, what it stands for. So you decide to take on that topic or whatever it is, you'll have clarity.
Absolutely.
You got to have clarity, especially to be a woman in today's world, you got to have clarity, because
Absolutely.
when you are a woman, a feminine creature, definitely a masculine spirit will try to take advantage of a feminine creature. So when you have the knowledge and the information and the clarity of something, no one can make you feel
You're
small
unshakable.
or feminine. Yes,
You're
absolutely.
grounded. Absolutely.
Definitely grounded. So, I understand that clearly, and it's good that you're training your daughter at a young age.
Oh, yeah.
That is awesome. And to being a single parent home as a little girl, you still had.
I will say I won't say I'm single, because me and her dad do co-parent, and I don't even want to. I want to shout out to him as well, because she does have a very strong family dynamic, even though we are not together.
Okay.
So I do have that help, and we are on the same accord when it comes to our daughter. So I'm single by myself, but she does have
That's awesome.
a balance.
Yes.
So she has both. She has that love.
Yes, and you didn't. I'm gonna elaborate on what you said about the little girl. You didn't mentally kill the little girl that you once were. You spiritually killed that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
You spiritually
trigger
killed
one. Yeah, I should have rephrased that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in a violent way, not in a but I had to let go. That It had to be gone. I couldn't hang up on it. I couldn't hold on to it. It had to go.
Yeah.
I had to move on for myself.
Yeah. Humans is the only thing that God created that can transform at any age in life.
Absolutely.
No one else on the planet can do that but a human being.
Absolutely.
You know that, right?
Absolutely.
So as many times you need to transform, you can.
Definitely.
As many
times. Transformation, and a lot of people don't, they don't dig into it because it's scary. It's so scary to confront yourself. A lot of people can't do that. They can't say, this is what you do, and not excuse it. Everybody has an excuse. It's one thing I've learned through my life, and it's solutions and not justifications. And that's a lot of time we justify everything we do. I'm like this because that's how I am. Is it working for you?
Right.
I'm like this because I do this and I do that, and you just got to deal with it. Are you dealing with it? You got to confront yourself.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to
like, and if you just accept everything you do, you can't be growing. Like, you can't be. You're probably stuck in whatever position you're in, unhappy, and then begging for something to change, asking God for a sign, praying to God for something to change, and He's giving you the eggs, the batter, the flour, the sugar, the icing, and you still don't know how to make the cake.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, transformation is definitely something that's a struggle, but it's not impossible. It's not. Right. And you have to do it. Action, you got to take action. You can't just say, I want to be a better person. I want to be more successful. You have to take action.
Right. When you're easy and sentimental on yourself and emotionally on yourself, it's hard to let go a lot of things.
Right. You're taking advantage of yourself. Everybody else is going to do the same thing to you.
That's right.
Because they see, oh, well, she don't really respect herself. So why do I need to? They're going to treat you. The golden rule, people really get that golden rule twisted. Treat others as you would treat yourself.
Right.
People they thinking about yourself is selfish. Me, I say be selfish. Don't be disrespectful, but be selfish, because how can I really care about you if I don't even care about me?
Right.
We might have the same views. Everybody is a reflection of you. What you see in other people, that's a reflection of you. So if I see myself as lazy, no good, bump on the log, when I see you and we got the same type of ambitions, I'm gonna say, oh, he's lazy, no good, bump on the log. Because that's what I see in myself. So it's like, we prejudge people because we prejudge ourselves. And once you let that go, and you kind of like, okay, let me understand. That's why I say understanding is the key. I will never try to just accept something. Like, I'm gonna try to understand.
I like that.
So you really gotta humble yourself. Like, you gotta be real with yourself. You can't keep excusing yourself.
Absolutely. So now, as our viewers see where you came from, see the energy, the positive energy you have flowing through your body, and the things you have overcame, and you still moving forward, and they see that you're a mother. You mentioned that you had a daughter.
Yes, I do.
These are things that, you know, our viewers didn't know, and you elaborated on a lot of things you have came from. You killed the old girl that was in you. You're a woman now, and you are striving to be a great woman. So now, since they know who you are from there to here, let's get into what you have and what you're doing and why they should continue to follow you. For one thing, you're a very great mentor to any young girl that's trying to come up, that's been going through a lot, that's have seen a lot, and they think it's no way out. So I give you that.
Always a way
You
out.
definitely can be a strong, strong mentor.
Thank you.
You have, in the way you execute your words, very intelligent.
Thank you.
You have your philosophies.
Neuro-linguistic programming is very important.
Your philosophies are good. You following great people, you know, from your mentors. So you're a well-rounded woman. So, yeah, they should support you. And I want you to let them know what they should support. And that's where we come to the entrepreneurship woman that's in you. I love the fire you have, too. You got a fire, you know, that when it's ignited, it flares. And I like that. So let the people know about what you have going on in your entrepreneurship.
Woo, where do I start? I have so much going on right now. I guess I'll start with Mila right now.
Awesome.
I guess Premier, you know, my daughter, we have started, because it's actually all her idea. We have started a chocolate business. It is a vegan alkaline chocolate, gourmet chocolate.
You got my money already.
It's we just started it. We actually made our first successful batch last week, and it came out amazing.
Awesome. I got to clap for that.
Thank you.
I got to clap. Yes, yes.
So what it'll be is it's like I said, it's a gourmet chocolate. So it's actually filled chocolate that you can, you know, we have several things. We have a menu. You can fill it with whatever you want to fill it. You can put 2 toppings in it. We have, you know, themes for catering, things like birthday parties, if you want, like, you know, little bags and stuff like that.
Wow.
Like favors for birthday parties. And like I said, it's vegan alkaline chocolate.
Yes, yes.
Dark chocolate and milk chocolate, and it's called Mila's chocolate. Mila's.
Yes.
That's what she chose as her name.
Like
this was
that.
all her idea.
Really? At
Yes.
what age?
She's 4.
She's 4
and we
years
started
old.
thinking about this last year, so she was 3.
That is incredible.
Yeah. Well, every time we go to the gas station, Mila has to ask for something. She has to.
Right.
And I am, you know, I'm trying to go vegan myself, you know, so I'm not really big on the junk food and sweets and stuff like that. I'm not too big on it, especially from the gas station. Like, I'm not really huge on it. So when she said every time she wants chocolate, I'm like, we're going to find you some healthy chocolate. And we're going to find you a job, because you always want to spend my money at the gas station. So she said, well, I want to work. I want a job. So I'm like, that's not even what I'm doing. I'm trying not to have a job. I just told her she needs a job. I said, actually, you need your own business. What do you want to, and I asked her, I said, what do you want to do? What kind of business you want to own? She said, I want to make chocolate. And I was like, yeah, because you can't eat chocolate. And she said, yeah, so I want healthy chocolate that I can eat and that all kids can eat.
4 years old.
Yeah, well, she was 3.
3 at the time.
And so I was like, okay. And so now we sat down, we did our business plan together. We talked about it. Of course, you know, I have to explain things a lot simpler to her, but it also helps me. So we sat down together, we worked on our business plan. She came up with the name. We looked online, found the ingredients. She came up with some of the themes and the menu items she came up with. She came up with the design and everything. She came up with the idea. This was Mila. She came up with the idea to use ice trays for the chocolate.
Whoa.
So she, you know, she was like, well, you know, it's a chocolate bar and you can make it with the scoopers. And I said, what scoopers are you talking about? So she said, hold on, mommy, let me show you. She runs to the kitchen and she grabs the ice tray and she said, this is a scooper. You scoop this with chocolate because it looks like a Hershey.
Wow. Wow.
So I said, okay, that makes sense. And so, I mean, but like I said, my daughter, she's me. And, you know, I've never really talked to her like she was a baby. You know, I've always, like, I've always just talked to her like this is how things are. So she's just like at that level linguistically. Yes. She doesn't really like talk like a baby. So she'll say like she don't know the words for stuff, but she'll tell you straight up like I think we need to do it like this, and if we don't do it like this, we need to do it like this. So
that's great the way you molding her now.
Oh yeah, I'm not raising a child. Yeah,
to a goddess. She can be a goddess.
Absolutely.
That's walking here on earth.
Absolutely.
Mila's chocolate. Yeah. I'm already hyped up because it's vegan. Mila, when you see this and hear this, I want to salute you, Mila.
She's going to be a boss. She also, actually, we have been recently talking about something else. We've been talking about getting her a vending machine.
Whoa.
She actually saw a bubblegum machine at I used to work at a restaurant. She saw a bubblegum machine there, and she was like, I want one. I said, you want some bubble gum? She said, no, I want a machine.
Whoa.
She said, don't the people put quarters in there? And I said, yeah. She said, I want that. I said, you want the quarters? She said, yeah. So it went from, the little candy machine, and I never really thought about it again. And then later I'm scrolling on Instagram, and I see somebody had purchased a vending machine, and I was like, oh, wow. I never thought about actually, like, owning one of those. So for her birthday, I told her we were going to buy her a vending machine. I have the location secured. So now we just got to get the machine, and that'll be something else she owns.
So you made your first batch last week. That's great. And I want to salute you for being the mother that eventually make it happen. For a daughter, you listen and you make it happen. I like that. I salute you on that all the way to put some interest in your daughter's vision. I love that because a lot of parents doesn't do that. But, we're not going to call anybody out. I want to say congratulations to Mila's Chocolate.
Thank you.
I pray and wish 100 times over in her journey to being a boss.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now the mama boss. Mama boss. So let the world know about your line, what you got going on.
So I have started a natural beauty hair care line, also completely raw ingredients, all natural ingredients.
Whoa.
It's called Raw Gold.
I like that.
Au Naturals. I have a cream that's a growth cream. It's called Whipped Miracle. The main ingredient is shebe. It is a powder that comes from Shad, Africa. This tribe in Shad, Africa, they're known for having extremely long hair, beautiful hair.
Yes.
So they take this shebe powder, they make a paste with it. So my product actually has that shebe powder infused in it. So it's great for hair growth. I've given out samples already and gotten amazing feedback.
Wow.
The texture of it is literally like butter. Like it melts in your hands. It's like really smooth. So that's my Whipped Miracle. Then I have an oil that's called Liquid Gold. And right now I'm developing a flaxseed curl gel that can also be used for locking hair. So it's brand new. I only have a few products, but everybody that I've given the sample to, they have loved it. I have not launched it yet because I still want to perfect it. But I do have batches of Whipped Miracle. I do have that available. So people can start placing their orders for that.
That is awesome. And we definitely on the same line because I definitely do vegan.
Awesome.
I do alkaline water.
Yes.
The highest percentage that you can drink alkaline water. I also do a lot of flaxseed.
Oh yeah.
I do organic oils in food.
Oh yeah.
So I'm definitely in that lifestyle, so I understand the literature clearly.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do, and I'm glad that someone is in the same journey as me, sharing it to the greater good. And this has been a wonderful story. And this is just part one, ladies and gentlemen. We're definitely going to bring this beautiful young lady back because she has a great story, like I told y'all in the beginning. This story is going to be great. This is just part one. So we're going to call this part one of a beautiful journey from a boss. Yes. Part two.
I like that.
Part two, we'll be back next week with her again. But before we end part one, the last thing you said was liquid gold. That's the oil. And, you said flaxseed. That just blew me away there. Yes, indeed. It's still in developing stages.
Absolutely.
But you gave out samples already. That's great. That's great. Great reviews.
Absolutely.
Anytime you give out anything, I don't care if it's information or a product, make notes on it.
Absolutely.
From reaction. I'm talking about reaction.
So
once they try
my test customers, because I actually, I went out to certain people and I said, hey, do you agree to, I'll give you this product for free. Just do me one favor. So I actually do have before and after pictures.
That's good.
And reviews from text messages that I can actually share.
Yeah.
So if anybody does want to see my reviews and see some before and after pictures, they can definitely get at me and I'll send them the pictures. Like I said, I haven't posted anything yet because I want to deliver a full product. But I'm not going to hold anybody back if they want, a sample or to see some pictures.
Yeah, that definitely. I definitely recommend that.
Absolutely.
I promise you. Before you can do that, any trial error survey, that's just like before a phone company come, they might survey a whole year.
Oh yeah.
But you know that company, you know that name.
Absolutely.
So you can do that.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Now before we get out of here, how can they get at you? You say get at me in that New York way, So, tell them how to get at you.
I am on Instagram.
Okay.
Brianna Potter _. You search Brianna Potter, I will pop up.
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. I believe my Twitter is just Bree KP. Bree in my middle and last initial. I'm on Snapchat. You can actually, I do give my number out. I don't mind people calling me. I like to talk. So my number is 228-229-7755. People can definitely reach out to me on there, whether it be business wise. If you need somebody to talk to, somebody to mentor you, you're going through something, call me because that's what I do. I enjoy helping people get through stuff. I've been through stuff myself and had to get through it. So
yes, indeed. Get that Instagram one more time.
It's Brianna Potter _
Brianna Potter _ Y'all heard that, ladies and gentlemen. Here on Coastal Spotlight, this has been great. As you see, she very innovative. She got a lot of fire. Woo!
Thank you.
She has a lot of fire. She's a motivational speaker because she's learning from motivational speakers.
Absolutely.
So she's sharing all of that knowledge, information. As you see, she created a family business. Her and her daughter. Why not support this young lady? She's on a positive path. She already got my vote. She got my money. Come join me with this great, I'm talking about great journey. I'm glad that I'm a part of it. So before we get out of here, who you want to give a shout out to?
I definitely want to give a shout out to y'all. Thank you. Shout out to Coastal Spotlight. Thank you for having me. I do have a life coach as well. Shout out to Kenny Taylor.
Yes.
Shout out to my team. Shout out Hachi. Kaylin, shout out my family, my daughter, her dad, my grandparents. Shout out everybody.
We love
everybody.
We love it. But thank y'all for tuning in tonight at Coastal Spotlight. As you know, we do this 2 days a week inside the Hard Rock at the Sugar Factory, and we love the Sugar Factory. They got great food, and we here with the Miss Beautiful Boss, Queen Boss.
What'd you say? The beautiful journey of a boss. I like that. I like that.
Yes.
I like that a lot.
And it's just part 1. We will be back with part 2. Thank y'all. Good night. We love you. I want to thank y'all once again for tuning in to Coastal Spotlight. You made it to the end of another episode. I appreciate that. And we appreciate that here at Coastal Spotlight. And we also want to thank the Sugar Factory inside Hard Rock, Biloxi. That's right, Sugar Factory have great food and fantastic drink. In front of me, I have 2 of my favorite drinks, Sour Apple Lolly, Caramel Macchiato Martini. You can only find these drinks at Sugar Factory. Thank you and good night.